and their substandards. We're going to talk how to bring evidence on these standards. Two sisters now see each other on the camera. Yalla, inshallah, you will see each other's in person very soon.
I miss her.
واضح. It's clear على فكرة إنه you miss her.
Yeah.
تمام. طيب, so as we said, we're going to discuss and find the best ways to bring the best pieces of evidence to show our practices for these standards and these substandards. As we said last time, we're going to create the folder on OneDrive. I didn't create it yet because your names, as you see, I still have newcomers to the workshop, and until now we don't have any individual or group assignments. For this week, you will have an individual assignment. So of course, during the weekend, we're going to agree on the lists of names, and based on that, I'm going to create the folder with your and you're going to create your personal folders inside the main folder. Let me share my screen now, and we're going to talk about the second workshop. Okay, first of all, do you have any question regarding what we talked about in workshop number 1? The folders, the YAML, whatever your question is. Do you have any question or any concern? Nothing? Everything was clear, right? Okay, very good. Ms. Samina, good morning or good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Samina, I'm glad that you have joined us. This is the first session for you, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm going to share with you the recording of the session number 1. And based on that, I wish that you watch it. If you have any questions or any concerns, you can refer back to me, okay?
Sure, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's continue together. Today's objectives are, we're going to recognize the main components of the Teacher Professional Standards Framework. So today we're going to go deep a little bit, talking about the framework and the standards. We're going to compare between these components of the framework. We're going to understand the 10 standards in general. We're not going to talk about each one specifically. In today's session, I'm going to introduce them all to you, and you're going to understand how to use these standards and the goal of them. Okay, first of all, I would share with you the main components of the standards framework. Okay? When I say standard, before I show you what do we mean by or what is the framework of standards, I have a question here. When I say standard, what do we mean by standard? Standards. I keep saying teacher standards, teacher standards. So what do we mean by standards? Yes, Sarah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to unmute. Right?
Okay.
It's the criteria upon which the criteria that we need to meet. You know, it's the description of the general way that teachers need to adhere to. Okay, it's everyone has their own personality, their own way of teaching, but there are some things that we need to meet in our classes, in our behavior, in our conduct with students, and these are the standards.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Does anyone have anything to add about the meaning of standards, or what do we mean by standards? There's something great that Sarah mentioned when I asked her about the meaning of standard. She said it is the criteria that I have to meet. Okay, in my practices. So here, the first benefit of the teacher's standards, that it draws the frame for you. It gives you the criteria. It gives you the quality quality of the practices and of the pieces of evidence that you're going to submit in order to affect positively on what? On your evaluation as a teacher. Okay, so always when I say standard, you connect it to the criteria, the best criteria that I have to meet in order to develop and enhance my performance. Okay, tamam. So here, when I say standard, they are expressions that describe the values, the knowledge, and the practices. Remember these words in orange very well, because we're going to keep repeating them in every single workshop, and you will know why now. So the expressions that describe values, knowledge, and practices, which identify the important characteristics of the profession, which is teaching. Especially in the field of education, each standard has its own sub-standards. So now from here, we learned a new piece of information. I have something called standard and something called sub-standard. Like, if you were focusing with me now, at the beginning, I said the number of the standards that we have. How many standards do we have? Yeah. 10, excellent, 10 standards. Under each main standard, I have substandards, okay? So I have 10 main standards, and under each of them I have substandards. Above, if we started like a big umbrella, okay? Before the standards, which is more general than standards, I have something called domains. Okay, if I say now, we have 3 domains. We have 3 main domains, okay? Based on the previous slide, can you tell me what are the domains? What are the main 3 domains? Yes, Sarah, give me one.
Value.
Excellent.
Values.
Excellent. So my practices as a teacher will go under the domain values. What else? Yeah, let's see who was focusing. Ala, you're muted.
I'm saying knowledge.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So teachers' values, teachers' knowledge, and Suhad.
Actually, I want to say knowledge. I think the other thing was practices.
Excellent, bravo, yes. And it's logically, these are the 3 domains, or the 3 general domains that the standards are going below them. As a teacher, I have my practices will go through these 3 main domains. First of all, values. Second of all, my knowledge as a teacher in my subject area and in general teaching area, okay? And the third one is the practices. How do I transfer my knowledge into practical practices? Is that clear? So now, until now, how many pieces of information do we know? A lot. The first one, how many domains do I have?
3.
3 domains. Excellent. What are they? Yeah, let's repeat them. Knowledge, practices, and values. Bravo. So I have 3 main domains. I have values, practices, and knowledge. And what else? What else? How many main standards do I have? 10 main standards. Excellent. 10 main standards. Let's continue. Here we talked about the domains and we talked about the standards. We said that after each standard a substandard. Then I have something called the performance description, and no, I will show you how, and the performance levels. So I have performance description and performance level. Okay, look here, this is the framework. Here it will show you the domain. Okay, so the domain, as we said, one of the domains is the professional values and responsibilities. Okay, And from this domain, one of the standards that go below this domain is the adherence to the tolerant principles of Islam and codes of ethics. Okay? This is the main standard. This is standard number 1. Okay? Under standard number 1, under the main standard, I have the substandard 1.1, which is comply with the Islamic values. Okay? Right. These are the things that we talked about: the domain, the standard, the main standard, and the substandard. What I told you about the performance description and the performance levels comes here, and I will show you how. If you see here, I have 3 levels: practitioner teacher, advanced teacher, and expert teacher. Okay, so these are 3 levels of teachers. Each level has its own description. Of course, I'm not going to talk or to say that the practitioner teacher implements the same, typically the same of the advanced teacher. So of course there are some slight differences between these 3 levels. This is number 1, slight differences. And number 2, which is very, very important, and you have to focus on it and understand it. The difference in level doesn't mean that some of them is implementing and the other one is no. Not at all. All of the 3 levels are implementing. All of the 3 levels are complying with the Islamic values, if we are going to our example. Okay? But what is the difference? That the advanced teacher, as you will see now, the advanced teacher is doing something more. He's doing the basic thing, he's implementing the basic things, but he's doing something more. The expert teacher is doing also more and more. Okay, so all of the 3 levels are implementing. All of the 3 levels are complying with the Islamic values. Okay, but the difference is doing more. And now you will see what do we mean by doing more. Excellent, Yasara, thank you. I saw your So let's see how. Sorry. As we agreed, I have 3 domains in order just to remember: professional values and responsibilities, professional knowledge, and professional practices. Okay, here, when I say professional values and responsibilities, professional knowledge and professional practices, before I read this slide for you, what do you think? What do you think? When I say, for example, now I'm talking to you, you are new teachers. I say that you have something called teacher standards, and in these standards you have 3 main domains. One of the domains is the professional values and responsibilities. Under this domain, what do you think your tasks are? What are you going to show me in order to show that you have implemented all the skills under this domain? Yes, Sarah. It's muted.
Sorry,
yes.
I know it's taking me a little bit of time. I'm sorry, the others are new teachers. I'm not. I've implemented this in the past years. I've even, I'm still implementing it. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But what I wanted to say that in every subject, even if it's math, which is my subject, you would think it's hard for us to implement values to our children, because how can I implement Islamic values while teaching algebra? This is not true. I found this out when I started with this standard workshop with Miss Hala. The first year I came here, I was a little bit surprised of what she was saying, but then I came to realize that what she was saying is absolutely true. Even last year in the committee, she was a lot of help and assistance. so that I change my concept about what we are going to do. So we can apply this in all our classes, even if you teach math or science or whatever it is that you teach, because we as teachers, we do not only teach material, scientific material. We teach values to our kids. We act accordingly. And for example, I'm going to give you an example of something that I did in class that falls under this standard and its substandards. I was in business math and we were explaining about commission on sales. So I made the girls do a little charade in class, like a little play that I wanted to let them sell me pens. Now, one girl had to sell, had the option to sell me the pen or not, and the other one had the option to sell me the pen, get +1 on her grades, or not sell me the pen. So you can see the other one was obviously fighting for this, and the point is that one of the information she mentioned concerning the pen was not true information. So after the thing was over, which was related to my lesson, we stopped at this point. Can you lie in order to be a successful salesperson? Does lying make you a successful salesperson? And we discussed this issue on how it's ethically wrong, on how you will lose your credibility in the future. And even if you were able to make the sales now, you will not be a credible person for the future. And the girls, when I first asked them, is it okay to lie? Some of them actually said yes. So at the end of the discussion, I asked my question again, is it okay to lie in order to be a successful salesperson? They changed their minds. And when they did, and I asked them, why did you change your mind? They were able to explain why. And they were able to explain the ethics behind it, the religion behind it, and the reasons behind it, and how we would be even better people if we were complying to ethics and religion, and thus keeping the excellence in our jobs or our ethic or our school or whatever. And so I was very happy to hear the change of heart and the reason behind the change of heart. So this is what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Excellent, Sarah. This is a very clear example of implementing the standards inside our classrooms. And that's very true, and that's very correct. But my question here, am I asked to implement these standards only inside my classrooms? Yani, do you think that the committee who created these standards and spent years on creating them, they want us as teachers to implement these standards only inside our classrooms? But let me give you another example and you think about it. Sarah is a very good teacher, okay? And she, through a practical example, she showed her students that it's not okay to lie, even if you are a salesperson, even if you want to be, or even if you want to be successful and to sell the things or the products that you have, okay? She did this in her class. Let's imagine that Sarah's students were with her in the classroom. The supervisor entered her classroom. She was explaining her lesson traditionally, very traditionally, okay? And once the supervisor entered her classroom, Sarah changed her method at all. The interactive worksheets started, the group work started, the discussions. Of course, I am using Sarah as an example, but Sarah, mashallah, يعني totally the opposite. Okay, so here the students are not kids. They realized that Sarah changed her method in teaching because the team leader entered. Going back to her example, will students really learn that lying is not okay to be a successful person? No. Why? Why?
I think she needs to start with herself.
Excellent. Because she taught them this as a concept. She taught them this as a concept, but she didn't practice it in front of them. Okay, so whatever you teach your students, and especially in this domain, in the first domain, because it's, let's say, when I say values, ethics, responsibilities, it has to be shown, it has to be felt, not only giving evidence. Okay, so for example, at the end of the term, when Sarah comes to me and giving me the pieces of evidence that she is complying with the Islamic values, I may see this lesson. But if I have a background about Sarah, that Sarah doesn't comply with the Islamic values, she keeps, for example, arguing with her colleagues, she keeps gossiping, for example, inside the department. As a team leader, even if I have this lesson, this very successful lesson about lying and about complying with the Islamic values, I'm not going to give her meet expectations. I will give her below expectations, because the real practices are not the same of what she is giving inside her classroom. Referring back to our first workshop, do you remember when I said our practices of the standards should be real? Should be real means that I have to reflect the implementation of my practices inside and outside my class, with colleagues, with partners, with students, with administration, with parents. Okay, so implementing the standards isn't only inside my classroom. Okay, it will be with all my relationships, with all the categories or the main categories of the school environment. Did we agree on this? Is that clear before we move? Okay. Now, before I give you the first activity. So now we said, or we agreed, that I have something called domain, and I have standard, and I have substandard. I will ask Suhad now. Suhad, what do you think is the most general one of the three components?
General one, I think the values.
The?
Values.
No, not the domains. I didn't mean the values and the knowledge and the practices. Domain, standard, substandard. What is the most general one?
Oh, standards, the standard one.
Standard?
Yes, standard, substandards, and what's the third one?
Domain.
Domain. No, domain is the most general.
Excellent. Then
standards, then substandards.
Excellent. Now, how did you decide? Logically, I have 3 domains, I have 10 standards, so under these 3 domains go the 10 standards. But let's go back to our example before I give you the exercise. Look here. Domain, what does the domain say? Professional values and responsibilities. The standard says, here the standard came a little bit more specific. Adherence to the tolerant principles of Islam and codes of ethics. Let's see the substandard. It is now more and more specific. Comply with the Islamic values. So from this example, you can decide that domain is the most general one, then I go to a standard, then I go to the substandard. Is it clear for all of you now? So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share with you a worksheet, okay? In this worksheet, you're going to practice more and more the domains, the standards, and the substandards. And pay attention, until now you don't know what are the standards or what are the 10 standards. Until now we know one, which is this one, the adherence to the Islamic values, because I showed it to you, okay? But by logic, remember, domain, most general, standard, a little bit, and then the substandard, the most specific. I'm going to share with you the worksheet. Now you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to divide you into 2 groups, okay? In each group, I want you to discuss and solve the worksheet. One of you is going to share her screen and solve the worksheet. And you don't need to solve it each one. Okay. So here I have all of you are using the laptop. Great. All of you. Oh, okay. So I'm going to divide Zamzam.
No, I'm using my phone.
You're using your phone type. So I'm going to divide Zamzam. Here I have okay. So Ala and Zamzam and Sarah are going to be in one group. Sabine and Suhad are going to be in the second group. Okay? Let me just divide you. Okay. So again, I said Ala, Zamzam, and Sabine, right?
Sarah. Sarah.
Or Sarah?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. So here, Ala.
Same family, doesn't matter. Same person.
Okay, Sarah. Okay. And here, Suhad will be in room number 2. Sabine will be in room number 2. And Miss Rula also is going to be in room number 2. Okay. Now, alaykum salam. Before I open the breakout rooms, I will share with you the file. Okay, download it on your laptops, download it so you can work on it. Okay, so let me share the file with you before I open the groups. Okay. So in room number one, I need Zamzam is using her phone. I need Ala to share your screen. You're going to share your screen and answer on the worksheet. In room number 2, I need Sabine. Sabine, you're going to share your screen and answer the worksheet with one. Of course, you're going to discuss. All of you is going to discuss. Are you ready? Did you download the worksheet? Downloaded? Yeah, download it before I move you to okay. Done, Ala? Sabine, done? Did you download it? Excellent. Okay, yeah, let's open the breakout rooms now. I'm going to pass by and I want you, please, Sabine, once you are moved, because here you are the leader, once you are moved to your room, click start recording, okay? And in Ala also, right? Ala, in room number 1, once you moved, start recording, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, let's start.
What is? I have something wrong that's going on.
What?
I'm not able to join the group.
No, now it's automatically is going to join
it's automatic?
to move you.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Can someone start, Sarah, can you start working on it because I don't know what's going on. My computer logged me out.
It logged you out?
Yeah, it logged me out, the computer. I don't know why.
طيب, I'm going to invite you now, okay?
environment.
Okay.
So hello again, everyone.
We're not done.
Until now, who didn't join us until now? Suhad, where's Suhad?
I'm here.
Excellent.
طيب.
Good. Okay, let's see. Let's start with the first group, the first question. Okay, the second group now are going to agree with us if their answers are correct or not. Sarah, share your screen, please. Okay. Yeah, start, Sarah, with the first one. So, correct speaking and writing skills using formal Arabic, professional knowledge, and master literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. What do you think, Yasara, the domain is? Sarah, you're muted.
Sorry, I was talking for like ages. I'm sorry. Okay, so the domain is the professional knowledge, which is the most general. Under it is the standard, which is master literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. This standard has many substandards, one of which is correct speaking and writing skills using formal Arabic, or in our case, formal English language.
Excellent. So what do you think, ladies, in the second group? Do you agree with her?
Yes, of course.
The same answers. Excellent. So, Sabine, once you turned your mic on, yeah, let's do the second one. Sarah, keep the shared screen. Yalla, Sabine. Do the without showing the answers, yeah, Sarah. Okay.
Just
Yalla.
1 minute. It's taking time. 1 minute. One minute. Did it share? I'm trying to choose it. I don't know why it's crashing. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me try to share my screen again. Did it share? Oh, it's sharing the Teams. 1 minute. Let me share it again.
It's okay, Sabine, you can read from my paper if you want,
yes,
and then just give the answer from my paper. Let me just share it again because I know her internet is really bad, so. Okay.
Yeah. Yalla, Sarah, share it with us. Okay, yalla, Sabine. So set professional development objectives and plan for implementation, professional values and responsibilities, career-long professional growth. Where is the domain?
The domain is professional values and responsibilities. This is the most broad one. And then career-long professional growth is the standard, and set professional development objective and plan for implementation is the substandard.
Excellent. What do you think, ladies? What do you think? Do you agree with her? Okay, great.
Yes, we do.
Excellent. So let's move now to Zamzam. Yalla, Zamzam.
Yeah.
We have create and maintain engaging learning environments, professional practice, use teaching time effectively.
The domain is professional values and responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're talking about the third one, lady.
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
Oh,
create and maintain engaging learning environment, professional practice, and use teaching time effectively.
Professional practice is, and the standard would be using teaching time effectively, and the substandard would be create and maintain engaging learning environments.
Okay, lady. What do you think for the others? Do you agree? What do you think? Is her answer correct or not? Her answer is correct.
I was a bit confused between the use teaching time effectively and create and maintain engaging learning environments. I switched them. I don't know. That was my hunch.
Yeah, so what do you think? She said professional practice is the domain, right?
Yes.
It's the domain. Okay, we all agreed on this, صح? طيب.
Yes.
Create and maintain engaging learning environments and use the teaching time effectively. Which one is more?
I don't
Which
create
one
and
is
maintain
more
engaging
general than
learning
the others?
environments in the standard and use teaching time effectively in the substandard. That's what I do.
They are very similar.
They are similar. They were confusing.
They are confusing, yes, because of this I stopped on them. They are confusing. So what do you think is more general than the other? The creating
I
and
think
maintaining
I'm
engaging
starting
time
to
or
change.
not using teaching time effectively?
No,
Who
using
says
teaching
that
time
the
effectively
standard, what?
is, I think using teaching time effectively is a substandard.
I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind because come to think about it, come to read the sentences again. When you have a correct engaging learning environment during the whole class, this includes ending your class on time, starting your class on time, and using
I was right.
teaching time effectively.
Yes.
We were right.
Excellent.
Yeah,
One
when I
of
read
the
it again, it made
engaging environment is to use my teaching time effectively. Bravo, bravo. Okay. Now let's move together to the standards. So now you compared between the domains and the standards and the substandards. And as we said, I have 3 main domains and I have 10 main standards. After that, we said that I have something called levels of performance. How many levels of performance do we have? How many levels of performance? 3. What are they? The levels of performance?
Practitioner teachers.
Practitioner teacher.
Practitioner teachers.
Advanced and expert.
Advanced.
Excellent, bravo. Advanced and expert. Excellent. Now let's go deeply in the standards, but also I'm going to show you all of them. So يعني حتى today, even in this workshop, we're going to talk in general about these standards, okay? So as we said here, I have 3 domains, which are the professional values and responsibilities. Under this domain, I have 3 main standards, which are the adherence to the tolerant principles of Islam and codes of ethics, career-long professional growth, and engage professionally with educators and the community. So these are the main standards. Under each main standard, I have substandards. So the first one, I have 3 substandards. The second one, which is the career-long professional growth, 2 substandards, and the third one, engaged professionally with educators and the community, also 3 substandards. As you see here, because this domain is about professional values and responsibilities, all the standards that go under this domain are related to either values or responsibilities. So I have principles of Islam, I have the professional growth, my responsibility as a teacher, listen, my responsibility, so it's under this domain. My responsibility as a teacher is to grow, to improve, to enhance my performance. And the third one is engaging professionally with educators and the community, okay? With my colleagues and the community, parents, the local community outside, doctors, pharmacists. I have a lesson about whatever the topic is, for example, the health of teeth. So I contact a dentist and I invite her or I invite him to my class to explain more about this. This is engaging with the local community. After we finish from the values and responsibilities, we move to the professional knowledge as it is. Knowledge. Knowledge. As a teacher, what knowledge do I have? Literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. I have to have knowledge in literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. Knowledge of my students And how do they learn? You know that we have multiple intelligences inside the classrooms, right? Knowledge of subject content. I'm a teacher of math. I have to know about math and methods of teaching math. I'm a teacher of language. I have to have the knowledge of the content I'm teaching and what are the methods to teach this content, okay? And knowledge of curriculum and general teaching methodologies. If you remember, when we were taking exams to have them license for teaching, they give us 2 exams. One of them about my specialization, about my content. Is it math? Is it English? Is it Arabic? Is it science? And another one is called general teaching. So as a teacher, whatever I'm teaching, I have to have both of them. The general teaching methods and the curriculum in general, the components of the curriculum and the subject content. Okay, now I'm done with the knowledge. Okay? I have to transfer my knowledge into what? Into practice. So as if I'm having the master literacy and numeracy and digital skills, and I know my students and how they learn, and I know my subject content and methods of teaching, so I can implement and plan and implement the teaching units. Okay? I will create and maintain. Here is the one that you were confused in. So it is a standard. I create and maintain engaging learning environment. So I make my environment an engaging one to engage my students. And at the end, let's say the last step of the learning process is to evaluate students' performance. So these are the 10 main standards. Okay, so these are the 10 main standards. As we said, here we have the sub-standards under them. Okay, clear until now? Before I move one step deeper, do you have any question, any inquiry? Everything is clear? Suhad is sleeping, is going to sleep, haram, is going to sleep. Are you tired?
No, actually, I'm working from the morning and still I will start after 1 hour teaching.
حبيبتي يعطيك العافية.
الله يعافيك.
Okay, so any inquiries, any misunderstanding points, anything, any questions? Everything is clear? Yes, Sarah.
Yes, next week I have, I invited Ms. Johara to my business class to discuss her business in the center. I think you've heard about it. And I invited everyone else in the process, and the girls are really excited. Does this lie under the standard you were talking about at the beginning? Engaging with the society?
Excellent, but I prefer to postpone this when we take this one in specific. Excellent one, and I want you to give it as a piece of evidence. What you mentioned,
yes.
What you mentioned, local community, because Ms. Johara here it works. Here it works because Ms. Johara is at the owner of something of another center.
Yeah, she's not here as her being a principal of the school. Excellent. She's here under another definition, and I know you prefer to postpone it, but it's already set for Monday. You're welcome to join. It's Monday at 8:30. So if you're free, you can join us. Anyway, I did something today in my class that also lies under some standards, and I'm going to post it on Yammer, but I'm waiting for you. I'm postponing stuff to post. I'm waiting for you, but you're welcome to join us for the next week.
Inshallah. Yes, Zamzam, go ahead.
Just want to ask Sarah, where is this meeting going to be?
You know, my business math class. So we are going to have her in our class. It's in grade 12, the office next to Ms. Nov. She will be talking a little bit, giving them a brief introduction about what her business is and how she started it, and what are the girls, they have questions. They prepared questions for her, like questions that are related to the humane part Like, you know, I always teach my girls that as women, we should be pioneers. We are strong. We are able to succeed in this world. We should have, you know, all of that, all of the values, the ambitions, especially as powerful women, and feminism. Okay, and so they are going to be asking her, part of the questions are going to be directed to the ethics and you know, all of that, the power and the feminism and the ambitions. Okay, and the other part is going to be related to the subject, which is about the use of credit cards for payments, the salaries, how did she pay salaries? Are they monthly, bi-weekly? You know, all of the things that we study in our subject, they are going to relate such questions. And of course, they are very excited for this activity next week.
Try to record every single detail of this class.
Can I record it?
The materials, yes, sure, because this would be a very clear and practical evidence of that standard. So we can also share it with our colleagues, okay?
Can I record it with pictures,
yes, sure.
or video?
Yes,
because
yes.
I don't want to show faces, or I don't
show
want
faces.
to show.
Yes, don't show faces, okay?
Right.
Something else, I've just realized that I wasn't sharing my screen while talking about the standards. Ladies, why didn't you tell me? Come on, ladies. Haram.
I was going
I
thought I did think of this.
I thought you were just
that,
being general.
yeah.
No. I was talking from the PowerPoint. So here, everything I talked about before is here. Okay. So while talking about the principles of Islam, the career, professional growth, and engaging with the local community and educators, it was under the domain values and responsibilities. Then the next 4 standards, from standard 4 to standard 7, which is mastering literacy and knowledge of students, knowledge of subject content, knowledge of curriculum and methods of teaching goes under professional knowledge. And here the professional practice, I have planning and implementation, creating and maintaining engaging environment, and evaluating students' performance. As we said before, we said that I have 3 performance levels, which are practitioners, advanced, and experts. So, let's see here. At the beginning of the workshop, I told you to be careful, because all of them are implementing, but one of them is implementing or doing something a little bit more. Let's see how. Here, I have standard number 2, which goes under the professional values and responsibilities. The standard is career-long professional growth. Here I have the substandard 2.1, or let's move to 2.2, then I will let you do 2.1. Develop professional performance in light of professional standards. Look here. The practitioner teacher is going to implement the professional development plan and evaluate it. Okay, so he's doing it completely. He's implementing this standard completely. He's implementing his plan and he's evaluating his plan. What about the advanced teacher? The advanced teacher is implementing this plan and evaluating it as the practitioner teacher doing, and he's developing effective methods to achieve it, and he supports his colleagues. So he's developing methods and he is supporting his colleagues with that methods. Okay? So of course he's going to be advanced teacher, because he's not implementing for himself, he's not evaluating the plan for himself, he's also supporting his colleagues. Okay? Let's see the expert. What is the expert doing? He's implementing, look, he's implementing the professional development plan and he's evaluating it. He leads initiatives that contribute to developing and implementing innovative professional development plans, and he evaluates his colleagues' plans. Okay, so here, if you're going to ask me about the difference between the 3 levels, I will say the practitioner is implementing what is asked from him in the standard. The advanced teacher is supporting his colleagues. He's implementing and he's supporting his colleagues. The expert teacher is implementing and supporting his initiative, and he evaluates his colleagues. Okay? Let's see here if this works here or not. I want Ala, read the practitioner teacher in setting professional development objectives and plan for implementation. Yes, Ala.
Know and analyze the professional teacher standards and their application, sets objectives for professional development, and plan to achieve them.
Excellent. So the practitioner teacher should know the standards. Because of that, we are taking the standard workshop. Should know how to apply these standards, and he should or she should set objectives for herself and plan to implement them. طب Zamzam, the advanced teacher, yalla, let's see how he is more developed, okay?
Yeah. So an advanced teacher would not only know and analyze, set their objectives for professional development, plan to achieve them, but would also develop effective approaches for professional development, planning and implementation, and support colleagues.
Excellent, bravo. So here he's planning to he's supporting his colleagues in setting these objectives in the plan and supporting them with the best practices, with the best methodologies. Thank you, Zamzam. Let's move
But
to
I
the
want
next
to ask something about this.
Yes, sure.
If you don't mind. If I'm a practitioner teacher, and which I am right now, I guess, because I'm just knowing the standards right now. Can you share your screen again?
Yeah, sure.
I mean that if I'm a practitioner teacher, and then I want to move up to advanced teacher, and even though it's my first time applying this, am I still going to be in the practitioner teacher stage in my professional development growth?
Okay. So you're asking if I move here.
I mean, I don't know if this. What if I am I'm implementing it and I'm supporting my colleagues and I'm planning to achievement and I develop effective approaches, and then how do I know that, or how do you know that I've moved up from practitioner to advanced?
Excellent question, Zamzam. Thank you for your question. Here, I will answer the first part of your question. If I am a new teacher in your schools, okay, you will consider me as a practitioner teacher because I'm taking the professional standards right now, right? Let's say that after I'm still in the workshop, I'm still taking the 10 standards in the workshop, but I took, for example, standard number 2. I realized, Zamzam, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
I realized that I am implementing this standard in a very excellent way, okay? Despite the fact that I'm a new teacher. I'm supporting my colleagues with methodologies, and after they implement them inside the classroom or in their plans, they come and ask me, and I evaluate them. I volunteer to evaluate them because I'm expert in this standard. So am I a practitioner? Of course not. In this standard, but pay attention. In this standard, you are advanced, or if you are evaluating them, you are expert. Here, what I want to tell you, in the final evaluation for the teacher, each standard has its own levels of performance. Each standard. So in some standards, you may be advanced teacher. In other standards,
yes, exactly.
You may be practitioner. That's very correct. Okay, it's not logic that because you are a new teacher, so you will be practitioner in all of the standards. No, if you are supporting you, and Sarah knows this, Sarah aslan experienced this. Sarah experienced this in her department. Okay, Sarah, for example, now she is completing with me the sessions. She didn't take all the sessions. Okay, she took the beginning of them, then she had some private issues and wasn't able to continue. But in one of the standards, which is, for example, the digital, implementing digital applications, interactive applications inside the classroom. Sarah was with me in the digital learning committee. She was supporting her colleagues. She was initiative in creating workshops and helping her students, her colleagues, and implementing some of these interactive applications. So in her evaluation, in this standard, Sarah was advanced teacher. Okay? طيب. Another question, or the second part of your question, ya Zamzam. Zamzam, you asked me, قلتي لي, how do you know, or how will you know that I implemented this or I supported your colleagues? Because of that, we have something called pieces of evidence. If you remember at the beginning, I told you that we're going to learn the standards and we're going to learn how to submit evidence on these practices, on these standards. So you also are going to learn how to submit evidence in order to show your team leader, in order to show the administration, the deputy, and the school admin also that you are implementing these standards. Did I make myself clear for you, Zamzam?
Yes, thank you very much, Hannah.
You're welcome. Yes, Sarah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for mentioning what happened last year, because it was really very effective to give me a 3 on many standards, including that include digital literacy and everything. However, some of the things that I was applying, even like, you know, I think you know me as a teacher now, you know me as a person. And in my final evaluation last year, I was in discussion with with everyone here about, like, my team leader, the deputy, and Ms. Ruwa, about certain points in my evaluation. And some things we cannot achieve unless we are given the chance to join certain committees, if you understand what I'm saying. And sometimes, this was the explanation that I received. For example, some of the things that are related to community work, to assisting others, to helping others and stuff. In order to become to level 3, we need to have a chance to join certain committees. Now, as you know, not every teacher can join every committee, right? And even, sir, there are some committees within every department that are different from the others. So is that just telling us it's not possible to achieve an expert level in all standards?
Maybe there is a misunderstanding, but joining committees is one of the things that you can do to be an advanced teacher, but it's not the only thing. Yani, let's say, for example, you weren't with me, and focus on this. Let's say, for example, you weren't with me in the digital learning committee, okay? But you are helping, you are supporting, you gave your colleagues a hand in teaching them how to use the ClassKit, for example, or any other application, and you were with them, you were coaching them, you were preparing the material with them. You're not in the committee. You will be an advanced teacher also.
So I'm preparing for...
Being in a committee is one. There is another, let's say there is another situation. Some teachers, okay, I'm not talking about digital learning committee specifically. Some teachers may join a committee just by name, but they are not doing anything. Yes. At this time, even if they are in the committee, they are not going to be an advanced teacher.
So my question to you is, like I'm preparing now. I'm working with my students on something called ClassFlow, which connects the Active Inspire application that we already have for our smart boards, and this makes things more interactive. You know, so I can yeah, I can post lessons, assignments, push certain slides to them, give them a poll where they can answer. We can see statistics with the whole feedback thing. So it's something like, and I'm preparing. I started testing it with my students last like a few weeks ago, and I'm just preparing to share it with my, of course, with the girls and even the boys section, the math department, and anyone who wants to join. We will sort this out with Ms. Heba and Ms. Ralim. Is this considered to like give me the expert to lead to me being an expert in this part, for example?
Expert, no. Advanced, yes. Expert,
Expert,
no.
because after that I will be supporting, of course, my colleagues if they apply it and they come back to me, and I will be giving them feedback. So this will follow the workshop.
Yes.
What do you think?
If you are expert, if you are evaluating their work, evaluating their classes in this, let's say in this domain, okay?
Evaluating means giving them feedback, or officially evaluating
you give them
their
the feedback, you prepare with them, you give them the feedback, just like we're doing in TBL, okay?
Yes.
The coach, the TBL coach, what does she do? She prepares the lesson with the teacher, she coaches the teacher how to plan for this lesson, she prepares it with her, and then she enters her classroom and she attends the whole classroom, she gives her the feedback and the evaluation. If you does this,
what about, yes,
you does this, sorry, if you
yes,
do this, you will be
yes.
effective.
What
You
about
just
our
support
contribution
them.
to Flip Genius?
Tell me.
You're disconnecting a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What about our contribution to Flip Genius? Like in all the Flip Genius, you know, we've been since, like, I'm one of the oldest, so since last term. We contribute in Flip Genius. We present our work. We give assistance to others. We give pointers. What is this considered and how is it evaluated? Like, for example, is it evaluated by the team leader or even by the deputy, knowing that we are contributing, like even like when we discuss in meetings, when we give something that like I share my experience, I share my work, I share some pointers that lead to, is this considered?
Just listen to me carefully. When I said advanced and expert teacher, I said a very important word, which is volunteering. You volunteer to do this. Because of that, it makes you special. It makes you expert. It makes you advanced. Here is my question. In Flip Genius, is it optional workshops or mandatory workshops?
No, the workshops are mandatory, but I'm not talking about attending the workshops. I'm talking about sharing your implementation.
Yes,
okay.
I'm going with you step by step. One of the things that you're doing in Flip Genius sessions is to share your lesson plan, صح? And showing that you're implementing the Flip Genius, right?
Yes.
So until now, you're doing your task in that workshop.
Okay.
You are sharing your lesson plan, okay? And you're showing them how you're implementing the flipped classroom.
Okay.
Until now,
I will show you something.
Until now, you are a practitioner teacher. طبعا, ladies, practitioner teacher is a very good level. It's an excellent level. You meet the expectations, and you know that the expectations are very high. So it doesn't mean that you are basic teacher. Okay, practitioner means that you are you implemented what is asked for, and this is very good. Let's go back to your question, Sarah. Until now, you are a practitioner teacher. طب, how do you move to the advanced teacher? In the session, you presented your work. You showed them your work. I did this, I am doing this lesson plan, blah, 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 blah. After the session, wallah, one of the boys section teacher called you, or one of your colleagues called you. Sarah, I recognize that in your lesson plan, you're doing this and this and this as a method of teaching math. Can you give me more information? Sarah will say, okay, that's great. Let's sit together and plan together and I will show you more details. Here, Sarah is doing something more. Sarah is supporting her colleagues. Okay? Why I'm saying this, ya Sarah? All of us know that when you have an assignment or when you have your homework, in an obligatory session, you will do your best. But it still is a homework. You're doing what you asked for, what you are asked for. But when you are giving more, when you are offering more support, now you are moving one step forward.
No, I wanted to ask because in Flip Genius, we were talking about scales, all right, and how the students should self-evaluate and stuff. So what I did is this is the scale, all right. Mm-hmm. I will give you some like pictures. This mm-hmm. will be hung in every classroom, and the girls, they have these sticks with 4 levels, like starting with this one, please help. Okay, and then I'm thinking, I'm getting there, and this is where they are proficient. But I did this for the whole diploma. I made for every girl in the diploma, like 20 students in 9, 23 students in 12. These are the students I teach. However, I don't teach 10 and 11 and 7 and 8, but I did this for every girl in the whole school, in the whole diploma, starting 7, middle and high school. And I prepared this is the key for this to be hung in every class. So I know we are talking about scales in Flip Genius, but this was not a homework. And you understand what I'm saying?
Now you tell me. You supported your colleagues, you gave your colleagues these things that you took in Flip Genius, you prepared for them the materials and the tools. You tell me now, you tell me. Are you an advanced teacher or a practitioner teacher? Did anyone ask you, ya Sarah, to do this?
No.
So again, to the word volunteer. Did you volunteer to do this? Are you a volunteer?
Yes, I thought about this idea to do it to my students, but I thought that this would be helpful for others.
So you're a volunteer.
So I did this for the whole department.
So what are you in this standard? Are you advanced or you are a practitioner?
No, advanced, but how do I get to expert? This is my question.
Excellent.
Excuse me,
so you are
I have to.
Teacher.
Excuse me,
how do
I
you
have
go
to go
to
because
expert?
I have.
Yes,
Hello?
yes, just 1 second.
Because I have a class. Okay.
You have a class now?
Yes, I have a class in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, and the students are calling me.
We're almost done with this workshop, by the way, but please try to talk with the deputy to not to give you the class until
the classes they start online on 2:20 minutes. Yeah, so I'm on now.
No, because we are going to have the workshop from 1 to 2:30 sharp. Okay.
Yeah.
And this time, خلاص, no problem. But next time, try also that not to have this period also.
هلا كل حصصنا set up على 22 فإنه ما يعني مش عارفة يعني هذا من المدرسة.
I know. أنا قصدي إنه they changed your schedule. بس.
Yeah. Okay. I will ask them. Okay.
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 تمام. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Ms. Hala, are we going to finish now?
Yes. After,
or do we still need time?
Yes, we have some slides and we will finish.
Okay, سيف ودي هذر وارجع.
Sorry?
Sorry, I left my microphone open. I'm just telling my driver to go and come back.
Okay. So evaluate, Sarah. When you evaluate your colleagues, the performance of your colleagues, you're going to move to be an expert teacher in that standard. Okay? By the way, when you take with me the workshop of evaluation, the whole evaluation at the end, there is no expert and advanced. Both of them means you exceed the expectations, ya Sarah. When you take the workshop with me, you will know now. So I have in the final evaluation, you have something called below expectations, need development, meet expectations and above or exceeds expectations. Okay?
So both
So
expert
if
and
you are an
exceed.
advanced, yes, either you are advanced or expert, you will be exceeding expectations. Okay?
Okay, now I get it. This is why I was confused.
Yes, because we put in mind,
yeah.
because yes, Sarah, we put in mind that sometimes you, even if you want, you won't be able to evaluate. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Sometimes, for example, in TBL, we can do this, okay? But in other skills or in other standards, يعني, the evaluation will be limited. Task. Because of that, the advanced teacher and the expert teacher will exceed the expectations. Right. Going back to our presentation, let's continue now. Before we do this activity, I'm going to show you the standards in general, the 10 standards in general with their sub-standards. I'm going also to share it with you on OneDrive because you have a task depending on this. So in domain 1, as we said, I have 3 standards. Of course, we're going to go quickly or fast on these slides. You can read them more carefully on your own when I share with you the documents. So you're going to, in standard 1, I have 3 substandards: complying with Islamic values, fostering the national identity and cultural diversity, and the adherence to professional ethics and educational policies and regulation. Also, in standard number 2, as we worked on the example, it talks about setting objectives and developing the performance. In standard number 3, it talks about engaging with parents and with the local community and the society. Okay. In domain 2, which is about the knowledge, as we said, in standard number 4, it talks about the literacy, comprehension, the numeracy comprehension, and the digital skills.
هبة هدول ما فيهم sugar.
Sarah?
وhealthy.
Sarah? Your mic is on.
I'm sorry.
Right. In standard number 5, we're going to talk about the characteristics of the learners, the individual differences and differentiation, the multi-intelligence students, and the characteristics of the students of special needs. In standard number 6, we're going to talk about the subject content and the pedagogical content knowledge. I always have problems in pronouncing this word. Okay, in standard number 7, we're going to talk about the general teaching methods, the evaluation of curriculum, the resources and educational technology. And in standard number 8, which goes under the professional practice, we're going to talk about the planning of units and activities, using different teaching methods and strategies, using the learning resources and also digital learning technology, develop common cross-curricular dimensions. We're going to know what are the dimensions. Why do I call it common cross-curricular dimensions, and how to develop the critical and creative thinking. In standard number 9, we're going to talk about setting high-level expectations for students, managing students' behavior, creating attractive and safe learning environments, using teaching time effectively, and building a culture that supports effective communication for learning. In standard number 10, we are going to develop the evaluation tools. We're going to talk about implementation of the evaluation, engaging students in the evaluation process, using the evaluation results in the ILPs, individual learning plans, and preparing evaluation reports. In each workshop, we're going to talk about, at the beginning, we're going to talk about standard number 1, then we're going to talk about each 2 standards together. What I want to focus on now, that it's very important to understand that these are standards for us as teachers, not for students. Yani, when I ask you to bring me an evidence of, for example, implementing using teaching time effectively, you're going to bring for me from your practices, not your students' practices. Okay, it is called teacher standards, not student standards. For example, one of the standards, if I showed you here, one here, the text and audio comprehension. Text and audio comprehension. A common mistake between teachers that they bring me videos for their students reading correctly, for example, or answering comprehension questions correctly. But I don't want this as an evidence. This evidence is wrong. I want you to bring me, for example, an evidence that shows that you as a teacher comprehending this text. You as a teacher is comprehending this audio because it is teacher standards, not student standards. Okay? So, now the last activity before we move together, just one example.
How can we do that? Sorry.
How can what?
Yeah, for this point, because I remember the first evaluation I got a 2 in this because I was using Ghana and Wana, you know, these words. I didn't use Arabic at all in my
This is
class.
about formal
I have,
English.
yes, I have, yes, this is one of the examples. I had correct English the whole time, correct grammar, correct spelling and everything, but I got a 2 because of the use of these words.
Yes.
And then it changed to 3 at the final evaluation. But that is noticeable only when my team leader or when the deputy like attends my class. But how will it be gathered as an evidence without having, like last year, I could give you a recorded class to like me and the other teachers, not just me, because we had online classes and we record them on Teams. So many practices that are in class, they are not physical. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. So
yes. When we started taking this workshop, there wasn't Corona, there wasn't online lessons. Okay, and it was, for me, I was a teacher when we took this workshop at the beginning, the first time. Okay,
yes.
I was a teacher. For me, it's much more easier for me, okay, and interesting to collect evidence from my actual classes rather than virtual classes. You can take, did you remember when I said now, take a video of your class? You can take videos. You can collect from the students' work. You can take pictures and reflect on them. So it's not only, your evidence is not going to be only from the virtual classes. You can collect from actual classes عادي. What if I recorded my session? عادي. You can. You can.
So is it enough? Is one session enough as an evidence? Is it considered enough?
No. And when I give you the workshop of the portfolio, the teacher's portfolio, one of the main or the most important principles of that workshop or of the portfolio, that you don't give only one evidence for the standard. It means that you're not implementing it very, very well. When I give,
we did that last year, the portfolio with many evidence.
Yes, practicing and implementing this standard. So it's not logic to bring just one evidence of that standard. Okay? So let's do the last exercise before we finish our workshop. I'm going to share this Word document with you and we're going to do it together. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Now, you are going to decide. You're going to decide if this teacher, practitioner, expert, or advanced. Let's start with Sabine. Yalla ya Sabine. You have the standard, master literacy, numeracy, and digital skills. The substandard, data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Okay? When I say demonstrate basic skills of data collection, analysis, and interpretation to inform the learning process, is this practitioner or advanced or expert?
I think it's practitioner because she demonstrates only the basic skills.
Okay.
So she didn't go further.
Okay,
So
excellent.
We're just, she's doing the job as is. She's excellent. Not giving more.
Bravo عليك. طب move to the second one and the third one.
Demonstrate full mastery of data collection and analysis and interpretation to inform the learning process. Here we have advanced.
Okay. Read the third one.
demonstrate advanced proficiency in data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Also, the last one is advanced, and the second one is expert.
برافو عليك.
Because full master, it means
Full
she knows
master.
everything.
Excellent. برافو عليك. Let's move now to Ala left صح؟ Let's move to Zamzam. يلا يا Zamzam. So Zamzam, are you with
Yes.
me? Yeah.
Yes,
Know
I'm with
and
you.
analyze. So here you have the three explanations, okay? One of them is expert, one of them is advanced, and another one is practitioner. Yeah, do it.
So these three, right?
Yes.
The first one is advanced.
How did you know?
I know because she's supporting colleagues.
Excellent, bravo.
But
so this
not
is your keyword. Yeah.
But not evaluating.
Excellent.
And they are, and then the second one is a practitioner, because all she has to do is know and analyze, set objectives. And the third one is an expert.
Why?
Because she's evaluating colleagues, and she's leading initiatives.
Excellent. Bravo عليك يا
Leading
زلمة.
initiatives.
Excellent, Zamzam. Bravo. Excellent. طب let's move to the last one with Suhad. يلا يا Suhad.
Okay. Communicate effectively with parents, engage them to identify their children's strengths and challenges to improve learning, lead initiatives that contribute. I think this is experts.
Okay.
Coach lead initiatives.
What else?
And contribute to developing and implementing innovative parent engagement approach and evaluate colleagues also.
Bravo عليك. يلا. The second one.
Communicate effectively with parents, engage them to identify their children's strengths and challenges to improve learning and develop an innovative approach to strengthen partnerships with parents and support colleagues. This is the advanced. Wait, communicate effectively with parents. Yes, I think this is the advanced one.
How did you know?
Because she developed innovative approach, so she's developing a new plans.
Okay, what else?
And engage them to their children's strengths and challenges to improve learning, develop innovative and strength. That's it. She's developed
And
colleagues, yes.
Support colleagues.
Supporting colleagues. Bravo. And what about the third one?
Communicate effectively with parents and engage. Okay, this is the practitioner one.
Yes, that's the practitioner one. Okay. Now, your task. Your task, now I introduced the 10 standards for you. So I'm going to upload on OneDrive the self-reflection form. What do I mean by self-reflection? You're going to read the standards and you're going to think what are your points of or your strength points in each standard, and what do you think that you need to work on more on other standards. You're going to read the standards in order to answer this form. You're going to participate on Yammer. Now all of you have the accounts on Yammer. I showed you how to participate, so now I'm waiting for your first participation. Okay, I'm going to upload also the files of workshop 3, and that's it. So you will ask me 2 questions. How do I fill in the evaluation form, and what to participate on Yammer? What to participate on Yammer? Now I'm going to help you in this participation until you will be more, let's say, experienced to participate there. What I want from you now on Yammer as a first participation, to write for me your reflection on the second workshop of teacher standards. What have you learned? What do you think this workshop is going to give you or to help you in your professional growth? This is your participation on Yammer, okay? For your second question, you will ask me how to fill in my self-reflection like this. I'm going to show you the document. See here? That's it. You have the domain, the standard. You will tell me, are you excellent in implementing this standard? Are you good in implementing this standard? Or you need improving in this standard? And if you have any note to add. So here you have all the standards, the 10 standards. You're just going to see yourself reflecting on your recent practices. Are you good? Do you need help, or you need to be improved in that, or you are excellent? The task is clear? Any question?
But where do we find the documents?
I will share with you the OneDrive folder with all of you. You're going to create your, as I told you at the beginning in workshop number 1, you're going to create your individual profile or portfolio, sorry, and put your task there. Okay? Any more questions? Okay, so please, Mr. Abdul Majid sent a survey for you. Please fill it in. And I hope that you enjoy your weekend. See you next Thursday, inshallah.
Thank you, inshallah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.